Okay, here we go. Hi, it's Martin Compton here. Just wanted to go through some of the stuff that we looked at last week, especially with the added opportunity of using a tool that I talked about with some of you, and that's the screencasting tool. Now, I'm using a thing called Screencastify, which is a Chrome app, and it's not without glitches. It doesn't always work perfectly, so I find it's useful to do a 30-second recording and make sure I get the right screens, and also check that the built-in microphone is working and all of that kind of thing. So then launch into the recording proper. Why haven't I done another mini podcast so that you can listen to it on the train on the way home? Well, because I wanted to. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you. Buy yourself something nice. There you go. And I wanted you to have a different type of tool to think about in the context of your own specialist area. So how could you use something like this? Now, at the moment, you've just got me and a static screen. But if I move the screen around, you can see that it displays anything on that screen there. This could be a PowerPoint. It could be multiple websites. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the course blog, which you know is blendedtt. .blogspot.co.uk, and go to the session plan that we looked at. And I just want to give you a quick reminder of some of the things that you looked at and raise issues as they occur. But do think about this as a way of guiding students towards what you have done, or will do, what you have done, what you could do, how they could extend themselves, they could make them, all sorts of things. Incidentally, on a PC, screen with an R on the end, is a useful account for making 5-minute podcasts, and Screencast-O-Matic is another one that set out like this with the video in the bottom right-hand corner. Anyway, you started the session looking at SMORE, and that has been used by colleagues and by me as a way of presenting information in a really nice sort of looking format. And you can see from the one here that you looked at that we've got some links on it embedded in the words. We've got some videos embedded there that play within it, and I've used it as a scheme of work, and several of you were playing with that as you went. There's also the opportunity to make your own, and several of you did that, which is great. The other thing that you looked at were the class tools. Now, this is a free bunch of tools, so we can't complain too much about horrible colors and everything. I noticed that they've introduced another one, which is this Pac-Man tool here. But at the very least, you can play with the timer. There's the multiple timer, the single timer, and then the name generators, which can also be word generators as illustrated in class, and a few other ones that can be used just boom, like that, straight from the front on the interactive whiteboard. The image labeler, the jigsaw thing, the target diagram. Some of them aren't as good as the others, like that burger is a bit ugly, to be honest with you, a bit pointless. But why not have a play? Salsan made that brilliant Brainy Box thing, which is now nicely embedded on her Tumblr blog. So have a look at that if you haven't seen it already. It just gives it a nice non-linear way of presenting multimedia content. Very appealing, actually. I really enjoyed looking at that, so thank you. We were then going to talk about collaborative documents a little bit more by doing a comparative exercise, but I changed my mind at the last minute, and we just all, I say we, I mean you, contributed to the shared presentation. And I'll be honest, in 12 minutes, that's a really impressive set of slides you put together there. And you organise yourselves well, and remember, if you set it up right, telling your students about the skills that they might be developing, then that's something that you can get a lot from. So this is still processing my request slowly. Here we go. This is what you worked on. So set it up right. Make sure they know what the rules are. You know how they can be gently monitored, and you'll be keeping an eye. How you can comment from a distance, that kind of thing. And this is what you made, and all I need to do is click present, and then I can go through it. And rather than present that information back to them, I can fill in gaps, ask questions for clarification, So they're cognitively processing the information in two different ways to the traditional present from the front passive way, where there are varying degrees of engagement. Now, I know at least one of you said, yeah, but I like that. Give me the information. Just fill me up. Unfortunately, that's a model that doesn't suit actually the majority of people in your class. All the research will show you that. So just scrolling through, I can see you've illustrated it. You've wanted to make it look nice. You've got some degree of uniformity there because of the template, but I can see the individual styles and efforts and all sorts of things going on. And if I wanted to, I could go to a particular slide and I could select a piece of text such as this. And even while you're doing it, I could insert a comment, as you can see here. Something a little bit less vacuous than this would be good, but that's now some instant feedback, or at least in this case, some post-session feedback. So think about how you can use that. Loads of opportunities. And remember that if you've got a Google account and you create a collaborative document, if you make it share, anyone with the link can edit. The people using it don't need a Google account. So it's well worth remembering that. We talked a little bit later on in the day about the thing that I was going to put there about sharing and embedding with Box. And I think most of you set up a Box account. Google Drive, a little bit fiddlier, even in Blogger, funnily enough, to embed. But and that's why I prefer Box. But if anybody is struggling to do that, just let me know, or Delia know, and we'll sort you out with some helpful videos and things. The other thing that we didn't get a chance to fully do was the treasure hunt, where we were looking at things that already exist online that you can use or manage or twist and change or distort to your own nefarious ends. And I tried without success to make a playlist. For some reason, the refreshing wasn't working in the screen, but that's doable, and I think most of you were doing that anyway. A lot of you were very impressed with the whole Quizlet thing. How that there is a whole bank of stuff that already exists out there, such as this one that I chose for some reason on a balanced diet. And, very exciting it is too to see that not only do you get one resource for your term and your definition, but you also get all the other resources that you can see there. Particularly, as you saw in class, I like the speller, because this is a way of embedding literacy in a real and meaningful way. Sorry, say that again. Oh, I'll try that. Factors affecting our... This is somebody who's not used this as it was designed, I think, dietary requirements. And perhaps that's why I saved it. Let's see if I'm right. I forgot the end bit and I misspelt dietary. So there you go, it's correcting it for me. But that's now getting on my nerves. It won't let me turn it off. Okay, so we had a look at that. We thought about embedding those things. I pointed you towards the things that I sent around via Julie, the how to shorten URL, how to QR code. And then in the afternoon, I gave you an opportunity to have a look at some presentation tools. I haven't seen the outcome of that yet, but I'm looking forward to it in your blogs and blend spaces and various other things. Okay, thank you very much. I hope this makes sense and isn't too quiet.